Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, The Reunion Part 1. So, you guys, we just gonna get started with it, you guys. Y'all know how these reunions go. This one's not really different as far as the beginning is concerned. We see the girls getting to the location to get their hair done, their makeup done, their clothes, on. Working with their stylist, whatever they're doing. We see Andy walking around and he is visiting, talking to everybody, checking in on them, making sure that they're okay, making sure that they're getting ready, just a little bit of pre-gaming. The color for this season was yellow, like a jewel tone yellow, bright yellow, canary yellow. Very nice. I think the color is pretty. That's one of my feel-good colors. It makes me feel like sunshine and brightness and happiness and all of that. And child, we needed it for this reunion. Anyway, you guys, so the looks, let's go through it. Starting with Wendy, I thought Wendy's makeup and hair was beautiful. The best that I have seen her hair and makeup look since she's been on the show. I don't know if maybe during the season she does her own makeup, and hair, which is fine. It's just, you could tell the difference. Her wig, the hairline was perfect. I mean, her skin was glowing. It was smooth. She looked fabulous. Her dress was not my favorite. I didn't like the appliques. I think that if we didn't have those white appliques on there and then we just got a smooth yellow dress, I would have liked it better. But Wendy definitely, she looked nice. Moving on to who's next? Candiace. Candiace, I couldn't get a good look at her dress. I still don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's not my favorite, but Candiace never really is my favorite look when I come, when it comes to the show. Her makeup was dramatic, very, very heavy eyelashes. She had her hair in a ponytail. I mean, she didn't look bad. She didn't look bad. So I won't give her I won't say she looked bad, but she looked cool. How's that? Moving on to Gizelle. Gizelle always looks like she bought her dress at Windsor Fashions, like just went to the mall. It always looks like an off-the-rack dress. And so this time was no different. I mean, it had the pastor wife rhinestone thing on the shoulder. And so I just, the dress was just whatever. Her makeup and her hair looked nice, so she did look pretty, but just nothing special. Robin, I couldn't understand. I'll say it. So her hair was nice, but then I couldn't understand did they take a stamp and press some dots into her hair or something? Like at first I thought it was C's. I was like, I know she ain't got Chanel C's on her hair on the side. I mean, real, avant-garde, I guess, but, her hair was cute. I just didn't know what them dark dots were. Her dress was, I know a lot of people actually don't like her dress. Her dress was okay. It was binding, but I thought she looked nice in it. I mean, she can carry it off, pull it off. Her frame is nice. She has a nice shape. So I thought she looked nice in her dress. And when it's done right, I like a high neck dress. So I thought she looked, pretty, but titties was smashed down and it was really like, I was like, girl, are you comfortable? Karen, I thought her hair looked like her regular blonde hair. Her makeup looked like her regular makeup. She didn't look bad. Her dress was not my favorite. I did like the structure of the dress, but it just was like was it lace? Was it doily? It was like 4 or 5 different dresses in one. But she wore it well because Karen looks well. She has a nice body and she was able to carry it off. But you guys know what my... Oh, y'all know who was my fave look. Oh my God, that Monique. Honey, she was serving. You couldn't tell Monique nothing. She was like, bitch, y'all can get up here and talk about me bad if you want to, but you ain't gonna never talk about how I look. Her hair was perfect. Her makeup was great. Her dress was beautiful. Fit her perfectly. I mean, she looked like a swan sitting up there with her long neck. It was very complimentary the way it was, yes. Loved the dress. I skipped over Ashley, huh? Well, Ashley's dress was, she's pregnant. It was fine. It was a cape dress. I wasn't a fan of the whatever that was on the inside of the cape there, but she's pregnant. So yeah, if it would have just been a flat yellow dress, all that one color, I probably would have liked it more. But, you know, in general, I thought the girls looked nice. I can't say that anybody looked horrible. And of course, you already got my fave. So you guys tell me who is your best dress and who was your worst dressed. And you guys let me know about all that in the comments below. But let's get to the introduction. So Andy is trying to loosen everybody up. Hey, Ladam. Okay, how you doing? Is that a Ladam wig that you're wearing?
Oh, it certainly is. This is from my collection. This one is called Victoria, and it's just straightened out.
Hey, Gizelle. Are you still with Jamal? She says that she is. Can I still call you First Lady? Yes, you can always call her First Lady. She's always first. Hey, Ashley, you looking different. Yes, Ashley is 6 months pregnant. This will be her second reunion where she actually is pregnant, and probably around the same months of pregnancy. I think she was 6 months pregnant. Hey, Candiace. Hey, Andy. Candiace has a big fan. Okay, what is that for? She said, well, it's a hater blocker or it's a love spreader. It just depends on who's bringing it. Hey, Robin, I thought you'd be wearing embellished tonight. Hey, Monique, I saw T'Challa backstage. T'Challa definitely is a hit on the show as far as Andy is concerned. You're always bringing him up. But anyway, he says hi to everybody, and then we get on with the show. First, we start up about how everybody has changed over the past 4 years. Everybody's look, you know, we get the clips, the package of everybody's look from the beginning all the way to the end. And yes, they all have definitely changed. What's funny, though, is in my notes, I put everybody has changed except for Gizelle. Gizelle looks exactly the same. I mean, you know, give or take a, you know, ill-placed curl or some sort of spiral or some, you know, her makeup is still the same, her hair is the same, and definitely her fashions are the same. So I thought it was funny when they were talking about who had changed the most and, you know, who hadn't. And first, when they were talking about who had changed, they said probably Karen. And then, you know, Andy's looking at Karen and he's like, I feel like it's a tweak somewhere. I definitely could see it in her face as well. And tweaks are okay. Tweaks are okay. If they're done right and you look right, then tweaks are okay. And in Karen's case,
yes, and you know, I got a little filler put on each side of my nose because my nose has a tendency to go down.
I said, oh, like the witchy poo effect.
But that's all. We're talking about Karen, right? Okay, well, that's it.
Karen did own up to what she did to her face. At least we're talking about this past season. You know, Ashley was like, oh, I like the new look. Karen looked nice. I mean, her face, you can tell she's done some things, but it's all been for the good. But yeah, like I said, when they said who hasn't changed at all, they were like, Gizelle. That shit was hilarious. She just really does look the same, you guys. Candiace was more pageantry, big hair, and you know. Ashley didn't show as much TNA because she's a mother now, so she doesn't do that anymore. Okay, but yeah, you guys, we get back to Karen and Gizelle's fashions, as a matter of fact. You know, Andy was like, Karen, you really gave Gizelle a hard time with the fashions.
Well, you know, Andy, it's a hot mess, but I think she knows that. It's become her trademark.
I was cracking up. Who wants to be known as being a hot mess? They were talking about Gizelle like she wasn't there. That damn Karen was like, you're a very beautiful woman from the neck up. You know, you always look nice and everything, but you know, child, that bottom part is a fucking mess. Wendy chimed in and said, you know, Gizelle, you just suffer from pretty girl syndrome. Okay? You don't really have to try. And then Candiace come on in and says, girl, I just want to see you work. I just want to see you with a stylist just one day, just a stylist. Girl, you would be fly. She would be fly if we could just get her right. But you know, people like what they like, and that's how I mean, that is her look. Okay. Robin. Andy puts Robin on the spot. What do you think about Gizelle's fashion? She was like, why are you even asking me that? She was like, okay, well, I'll just say that, you know, she has some very bold choices that maybe she wouldn't rock, but Gizelle rocks them just fine. And, you know, so she's fine with it. You know, if you like it, I love it. But, yeah, they're giving her a hard time. Gizelle's like, you talking about my fashions, Karen, and you were wearing fake Fendi on the show. And Karen was just like, I'm not listening to that. You were wearing fake Fendi. It said indie. They showed the picture and it did say indie. I was just like, oh, how did we miss? Woo, child, I was cracking up on that scene. Gizelle tells us that it doesn't bother her that people tease her about her fashions because it came from Karen. I was like, no, that's not true. We've been talking about your fashions probably since first season. So really it came from us, the viewers, and Karen finally picked up when she finally decided that she was just going to shade your ass all the way to the end this last season. So that's where that came from. So it's not just Karen, it's everybody. Okay, so anyway, we get off track because somehow, I don't even remember how, but we almost get started about Monique and Candiace's fight. And Robin was salty about the fact that her and Gizelle, when it came to the Green-Eyed Monsters, that they bore a lot of the hate that the viewers were giving out, you know. So they were about to start that up, and Andy was like, wait a minute, you're getting ahead of yourselves now. We got a damn schedule the way we doing this. Put a button in it, sew it up. Okay, we're going to come to that later. So next up, we have Wendy. Okay, Gizelle. Everybody was pretty shocked that Gizelle actually liked Wendy from the beginning. You know, because Gizelle usually has to haze the girls. She's very mean girlish. You know, she's very sorority girlish. She has to put them through a rigorous chain of events before we can figure out if we like you or not. And we never know if Gizelle really truly likes anybody. Maybe Robin, and that's a strict maybe. She took to Wendy pretty well. Is it because she's an AKA? And Gizelle said, yes, she is a soror, and you know, she just kind of decided to give her a little bit of a chance. How do you guys feel about having an AKA in the White House? You know, they're really excited about that, you know, so give it on up for our future, our vice president-elect, Kamala Harris. She is a AKA as well. But anyway, so Wendy, how does it feel to be a Nigerian reality star? Does the Nigerian community accept you? She says, oh yes, honey. When she goes out, you know, now she is like royalty, you know, they love her. You know, everybody is like, oh, when she comes, oh my God, get the goat. So good for Wendy. I will say that Wendy, she was so much relaxed in this reunion. Like, I just felt like, I mean, she was, not relaxed, not the word. She was just on it. She was ready. Okay. She was ready. And I feel like she did very well in this reunion. When they were talking about Gizelle and her fashions, that's about the time that I remember that Gizelle never does well at the reunions. She always sits there kind of like a bump on the log, can't ever get any cute comebacks, can't really ever defend herself well. You know, the Gizelle that we see during the season and when she's in the confessionals and when she has all of these cute little shades and readings and all, it never comes across in a reunion. So if I was to say who was the most prepared and the least prepared, can't forget about Monique. But Monique is on something separate. I will say that Wendy was there and most prepared, and Gizelle was, you know, every year she's just never prepared for what is thrown her way in these reunions. But anyway, it started on Wendy's degrees and how Wendy threw them 4 degrees around, and everybody got sick of it because it seemed like she was trying to do it to put people down. We all felt that. Well, I don't know if we felt like she was putting people down, but she definitely felt like she was braggadocious. And even though she kept on saying, I'm not one to brag, but she would always say she's got 4 degrees and call her doctor, and we done been through all of that. Okay. Ashley told her that she felt like she was doing it to put people down. She thought she was using it in a divisive way. Wendy didn't have any time for Ashley. She was like, that sounds like a personal issue, Ashley. So she didn't give her much energy. But we do move on to the friendship or the non-friendship between Wendy and Karen. Gizelle says that from the very beginning, Karen was trying to get Wendy off of the show. You told me that I do not like Wendy. I don't think that she's good for the show.
I did not say that, Gizelle. I said I am having challenges connecting with her.
Well, why is it that Wendy and Karen didn't hit it off from the very beginning? Because when the new girls have come on, Karen usually is one that they gravitate to. Well, that might be because Wendy didn't kiss her ass. At least that's what Wendy thinks. You know, she didn't go up to her and think of her as like, you know, the mom that's always going to be imparting wisdom amongst the young. I don't know how old Wendy is, but she just doesn't look up to her as a mother figure. That's fine. Maybe that made Karen feel some sort of way that she wasn't approached as an original cast member of the show. And I don't know. know. But, that's what Wendy feels.
Well, that's her opinion, but she's wrong.
Karen says that she don't have a problem with Wendy at all. They just did not hit it off when they first met. I was just like, you guys don't like each other. It's whatever. Okay. And there's anything happen serious enough for you to really be fighting. So that's why y'all just don't click. That's just what it is. Now, next up, we talked to Candiace about her learning how to practice restraint this season. Okay, we get the package about her and not some of her, more glowing moments of her being up in people's faces, saying things that's going to affect the outcome of the scene, wanting to fight or making people feel like they want to fight, just what Candiace used to do. And she admits that was her. Maybe that's not her any longer. So, I heard you moved from your mama's house. She was like, I'll talk about that when Chris comes out. But we already knew that she had bought a house that's been on social media. I don't know how it happens again, but Ashley and Candiace jump right to it. I think it was because Andy was talking about her song. Okay. And I don't know. And he asked her, how does it compare to, I'm assuming that was Ashley's song title that he said. And she was like, it's nothing like that song. This is a true song. There's no auto tune. She basically was like, Ashley's song is trash. Okay. And why did she say that, honey? That Ashley was so offended. You always got something negative to say. And she's just mad at Candiace because she doesn't apologize for the things that she says. And here we go with this fucking apology. People always want an apology. I can apologize and don't mean it. Still go back and do the shit the next day. I'm so sick of it. So as them two are going back and forth, and Andy asked, well, one of the viewers asked if there was any colorism that affects the way that the girls are probably treated on the show. And we see both Candiace and Wendy kind of shaking their head like, yeah, we know about that. Wendy kind of looks over her head over at Robin, and Robin was like, what you looking at me for? Like, I know I ain't did nothing. And she was like, I just want to see how all of you guys over there are going to answer this question. So Robin says that she's made it a point to try not to say certain words because she knows that in this day and time, people do look at the color of the skin, how light a black person is or how dark a black person is. And if you negatively put these words on people, it can have a big effect. So she tries not to do that. However, they had a problem with the fact that Ashley would say things like, she was aggressive and that she was divisive. And she felt like those buzzwords are the words that people pick up and then they attach it to the dark-skinned girl and they make it seem like, the dark-skinned girl is just so out of control all the time and she's aggressive and all. And Ashley didn't want to admit, or maybe she just didn't understand that maybe those words are, are a problem. I mean, people feel how they feel about certain words. Like, there are certain words that I don't like to be called. Okay. I don't like to be called diva. That is like I don't like to be called that. I don't feel like I am a diva. So when people do it, I know people don't mean anything by it, but it's just one of those things that I just be like, ugh, So, those are the words that set her off. They are triggers for her. Okay. And Candiace. But I could understand how she was saying that those things can negatively affect it. Just find another word. Okay. Well, if the word is still making you look bad, then it could be any word. But she wants a different word. Fine. Monique was like, it doesn't even matter, what the word is. It's more like the action of what you're doing, that would make it look negative. So, you can come up with any word. If there's a negative action behind the word, then it's still negative, Oh, the other word was ferocious, not divisive. I'm sorry, you guys. Ferocious was the other word. And of course, when you hear the word ferocious, that sounds animalistic, right? It sounds like it's something that you just ready to go tear somebody apart. And even though Wendy, not so much Candiace this season, but Wendy definitely had her moments where she was in people's face and all of that. Ferocious is really, that probably is an exaggeration. Candiace, do you think that you have a tendency to provoke people? She says that she does feel that she has the ability, she kind of choosing her words, but the answer basically is yes. She can own that. Gizelle says, girl, you hit below the belt plenty times. And she says, she does do that, but she's trying to be better. When you know better, you do better. So, Candiace is a work in progress. Okay. And it's fine. We give people chances, a chance to grow. So it's still okay with Candiace. We also find out that she's in school to get her MBA. So very good for her. Now, we take a break, and Andy says, okay, you guys, we got 5 minutes. You can't leave. I'm sure because of COVID, they're trying to just minimize as much contact as they can with other people or outside or whatever. So you just sit there and you just maybe just collect yourself because you couldn't even get your makeup done. So they're just sitting there, and Monique is telling Karen how she don't like the fact that Candiace and I think Gizelle are being so fake over there. See, I felt like maybe it was out of order because I was like, nothing has happened really for Monique to have this much of a problem with these girls already. Okay. But she was like, them tricks over there are always lying and all of that. She, wait till I pull out my notes. All right. And child, the infamous notebook with the tabbed sections with everybody having their sections, for her receipts that she got to go back and, check people with. She had it right there. But again, like that probably was out of order because it was feeling more like they were just giving us the warning that Monique was about to open up a can. And child, what I tell you, I'm talking about the biggest can, the big old family can of whoop ass. So next up, you guys, we have Gizelle. Gizelle, how are you and Jamal doing? Oh, we're doing great. I was thinking about one of the Roxstars who had said last week that, it kind of makes sense that Jamal is not on the show because he is a legitimate pastor. He has a big church, which he does here in Atlanta, that he is the head of. And, it wouldn't probably be a good look for him to be on the show with Gizelle and their shenanigans. It's not like Gizelle is like a glowing saint on the show talking about dicks and sucking them and all of that. And then I was like, yeah, that's true. And then I said, but I thought about it and I was like, but you know what? Pastor Jamal, with all due respect, he hangs out with the likes of Sierra and BK from Love and Hip Hop out here in Atlanta. I was just like, if he can hang out with them, then he can definitely hang out on Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. So I wasn't sure if, him avoiding Gizelle because of the, oh my God, what's the word? Reputation of the show. I don't know if that's, after I thought about it, I don't know if that's going to fly. Again, Andy talks about her home, the way she has it decorated. It's perfect for Gizelle. I mean, again, if she likes it, child, we just going to love it. It ain't nothing that maybe we would choose, but that's her house, her money, her shit. Okay. She ain't asking nobody else to buy it. So fine. Karen did say that, she didn't have any taste and stuff, but that was Karen's opinion.
It was not cute.
She's like, oh, look at Karen with her Geritol kicking in.
Gizelle, I wish that you would stop acting like you are 25 years old. You are 50 years old.
Karen is only 6 or 7 years older than Gizelle. So, and so she was just like, you always trying to make it seem like I'm so much older than everybody and all of that. And then Wendy was like, yeah, she's being it's ageism.
What did you say, Wendy? It's ageism? Okay, thank you. Ageism.
It is a little bit of ageism there because we all 50 something. I mean, you was watching the same cartoons the other one was watching at one point. So, yeah, it doesn't fly. As Gizelle and Karen kind of go back and forth, we find out that Gizelle's line got liquidated at Target, which we already knew. Talked about that in top of the blogs. Other than that, everything is going well in her life. COVID has made it difficult for Pastor Jamal to make it on down or up to Potomac, because, of course, social distancing, not wanting to travel as much, trying to be safe and all of that. But she feels like the show has helped them. It definitely has helped the girls' relationship with their dad because they've seen how they were on the show. And then they had a conversation with the dad. It opened up some dialogue between him and his girls. I mean, I wouldn't deny that he doesn't love his girls. I'm sure he loves his girls. The question is, what's going on with Jamal and Gizelle? So she says that they're still together, right?
Well, that's not the word on the street. The word on the street is that they are not together and that Jamal and Gizelle had an agreement for him to come back and help her save her position on the show by saying that they were in a relationship. And that, like her father said, that he has 6 baby mamas with another baby on the way by a 7th woman.
And I was just like, oh my goodness. I was actually very proud of myself because actually it didn't take a genius to see that Gizelle and Jamal really aren't together. They don't have any chemistry. They look like homeboy and homegirls. So I was actually proud of myself. Give myself a pat on the back. Oh, Rocky figured that one out pretty early. So Gizelle is just sitting there going like, Andy, do you have any questions? I am not even going to pay attention to Karen. Oh, you going to pay attention to her just give a little time. Andy asked her, well, you know what, Gizelle, would you stay with Jamal if he did have a baby on you? And she says, first of all, Jamal is not having a baby on me, okay? That is a lie, okay? My dad was exaggerating. He doesn't have all of those baby mamas, so she's going on and she's saying, and it's okay that my dad doesn't really like him like that, He's my dad. I would expect him to be the way that he is. I was like, who wants their dad to not like their husband or their future husband? No, that's not how we expect it to be. We want our dad to look at this man and say, okay, I feel comfortable that he can take care of you and a family for the rest of your life. Okay, we don't want daddy to say this nigga got six baby mamas and a baby on the way by a seventh one. Girl, we ain't drinking that Kool-Aid. So she trying to tell us that all of that was a lie. And Monique was like, oh, no, that's not true. Oh, yeah, he does have a seventh baby mama. As a matter of fact, she contacted me, sent me a bunch of text messages, so that damn Monique pulled out her book and she was just like, yes, I got text messages and everything here. Her talking about the relationship between Jamal and her and how, Gizelle is saying that they're together and he's denying it. And yeah, got pictures and everything. Okay. And Gizelle was like, whatever, like, I'm not going to believe anything that Monique says. She says, well, I have the number here. I can read it out. I'm sure that Gizelle would know the number. It's 410 beep, 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 beep. And Andy looked over at Gizelle. He was like, is that his number? And she was just like, yes. Like I said, deer in the headlights, that Gizelle never has a comeback. Oh, and yes, I'm looking here, reading up on it, and yeah, Pastor Holy Whore is out there slanging his big D all over Atlanta. I said, oh, not Pastor Holy Whore. That damn Candiace was so upset. Are we really doing this? Are we really giving her a chance to say all of this when she went crying to Bravo, when rumors were going around, real stories were going around about her family? Honey, that Monique didn't even give Candiace any attention. She read them damn notes like she was doing the announcements at the church, honey. She was like, and he's with this woman and has been with her for a bunch of years. Okay, like, do you want to see what I got here? I'll teach you to call my husband big boy. So, while she was going on and on, everybody's kind of looking around like, oh, because what I tell you, if you did not see the scene, you definitely need to see the scene. I laughed the whole time. Actually, my face was like, oh, because this is the thing. Nobody likes to see women tear other women down. We don't like to see it. Okay, that's fine. That's established. The thing is, Gizelle does it all year. She does it all season. She does it in her confessionals. She does it in her storylines or other people's storylines. That is what Gizelle does. The reason why people don't like to see Monique do it all in one one sitting is because you getting it all right now. You're not getting it spread out. If we was to get all of Gizelle's shady moments and put it all into a package, we probably have a whole hour show. Okay? Monique just happened to sit there for about a good 10 minutes and read off all of the things. So I don't like to see women be uncomfortable, when it's something that comes to their man that's doing something. I can't really feel sorry for Gizelle because Gizelle does it. Gizelle dishes it. She gives it. So when you give, you got to receive, right? You dish, you got to take. So this was her taking moment. This was her receiving moment. She didn't want to receive it, but she received that shit. Monique was like, maybe we can ask your man when he come and sit behind you. Okay. Then here come Karen. Well, is Jamal going to be here today? Gizelle was like, no, of course not. So, child, when I tell you that damn Karen and Monique, they tag team that Gizelle, child, it would kind of put me in the memory of when Nene and Kenya tag teamed Kim Zolciak. Okay, it was just so eloquently done. It was messy as fuck. It was mean as fuck. Okay, but sometimes we just got to take it, you guys. Sometimes we just have it coming. You cannot be a certain way all season and then not expect for somebody to possibly bring it back. Nobody's really brought it back to people like this, but man, this is going to be a good next 2 episodes, you guys. All right, you guys, so that is it. Wanted to do this one first because Real Housewives of Atlanta. Actually, Real Housewives of Atlanta was good too, but in a different way. So I wanted to make sure I got this out to you guys, and then we'll get Real Housewives of Atlanta out a little later on today. Anyway, you guys, let me go. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.